Hello and welcome to this week's Forex Outlook here at xm.com. I'm Andreas, your investment analyst, and I'm here with our chief economist, Michalis Florentiadis. So Michalis, I was expecting a quiet August week. This wasn't the case though. We had plenty of excitement, and sterling is partly to blame. The currency lost considerable ground on the back of growing concerns for a no-deal Brexit. Can you give us your insights?
I think the market is becoming increasingly worried, as are policy makers, because I should remind people that no one other than Mark Carney, the governor of the Bank of England, said that this is the likelihood of a no-deal Brexit is rising, and it's could be uncomfortably high. So I think the market is responding to that, and it has driven down the pound aggressively. This week the dollar was generally strong, but the sterling was like the weakest link, sort of to speak. So it suffered quite major losses, almost 2% against the US dollar. And Andreas, with this backdrop, can you tell us next week what we can expect from the UK scene with respect to sterling as well?
Sure, Michalis. We're going to have important data out of the UK. Specifically, on Tuesday, we will have June's jobs report out of the nation, with wage growth again being on the spotlight, while on Wednesday and Thursday, we will see the release of inflation and retail sales prints pertaining to the month of July. But in the big picture, of course, Brexit could dominate. Even we have a bid on the data, still Brexit developments could dominate movements in sterling pairs. And Michalis, allow me to go back to what happened during this past week. The Reserve Banks of Australia and New Zealand met. The market response to the latter was much more considerable. We saw the QE tumble as the central bank over there tilted dovish. Can you talk to us a bit more about this?
Yes, it seems that the RBNZ signaled that it's in absolutely no hurry to raise interest rates, and by no hurry we mean maybe 2 years ahead. So this was quite a dovish signal. And also we saw the commodity currencies, both the Kiwi and the Aussie, coming under significant pressure, not only because of the specific developments of the dovish central banks in both cases, but also because we have worries about the trade tensions, whether that is going to lead to significant decline in these countries' exports, particularly to China. And we did see them also, like after the pound, these two currencies suffering the most amongst the major currencies suffering the most. So with this in mind, again, what do we have to look for next week for these two?
We will have data of significance out of Australia, Michalis. In particular, on Wednesday, we will see the release of the quarterly wage price index, while on Thursday, the nation's employment report for July will be hitting the markets. And now, Michalis, let's turn to the dollar. Talk to us about that.
Yes, the dollar, I think, is becoming a safe haven amongst all the turbulence that is taking place in the world. We also saw trouble coming out of Turkey, with the Turkish lira posting massive losses. So we are seeing these emerging markets, beginning with Turkey, and we could see some contagion. I think this is the fear. We could see some contagion to other markets that might have overborrowed during the time when dollar interest rates were very low and have built up some significant foreign debt. So I think the dollar is still fulfilling its role as a safe haven. The US economy relatively closed. It's not trading as much with the rest of the world relative to its size always, because it's a huge economy, of course, with a huge trade flow, but relative to its overall size, international trade is not so important. So we saw the dollar gaining significantly and the dollar index marching on to a one-year high. And with this in mind, are there any US dollar statistics next week or developments that could move the currency, or is it going to be mostly about the risk-off and the emerging market turbulence?
Well, definitely the EM turbulence and trade developments will again be at the forefront. But in terms of prints, we're going to have on Wednesday retail sales figures as well as industrial and manufacturing output numbers, while on Friday the University of Michigan's preliminary survey on August consumer sentiment will be hitting the markets.
Okay, so it will be interesting, I think, next week to watch whether this August volatility, usually this period of the summer can be likened to summer doldrums, and we are seeing quite a lot of volatility this week. It will be interesting to see whether this volatility continues. And when you have a period of volatility, it does tend to continue for certain days. It's not something that is going to die down, so it will be very interesting. Thank you very much, Andreas. Thank you everyone for watching, and have a great day.